Hi there, welcome everyone to our Acceleration program, Humanities Team Acceleration program. I'm Steve Farrell with Humanities Team, and I'm coming to you live from our studio here in Boulder, Colorado. Got a wonderful special guest here with me. I'm going to introduce her in just a moment. Let me shout out to all of our friends who are Humanities Stream Plus members, people in the humanities.team community, those on Zoom, on our Humanities Team Facebook pages, on Cynthia James' Facebook page, and also our friends that are part of the Sign Network with John Raymer. So to all of you, welcome. Thanks for being with us. If it's Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific, it's Acceleration time. So we're real happy to be here with you during the hour. Now, a couple things as we get started. We are watching comments that are coming in. So Mona just shared hello on Facebook, so I can see that comment. I can see comments coming in from these various Facebook pages. So if you have a shout out here or question for me or my special guest, I just invite you to bring it in during the hour. We'll get to as many questions as we can. So Humanities Team is a global nonprofit. We were founded in 2003, and our whole focus is on supporting people on their conscious journey, creating planetary awakening, and manifesting flourishing at every level of life. These are the three things that we're focused on. We call this program Accelebration because it's all about accelerating our conscious journey and celebrating. It's Friday afternoon, so it's a celebration. And we have a lot of fun. So our theme here today is revealing your purpose. And let me welcome to the program Cynthia James, who's our special guest here today. And I'm going to read a formal introduction, but let me first just welcome Cynthia. Thank you for being with us.
So happy to be with you, Steve. Thank you so much.
And doesn't Cynthia look beautiful? Thank you for being here. And she's you're coming to us live from your ranch, the Eagle Ranch here in Colorado, right, Cynthia?
Yeah, the Golden Eagle Ranch, and we're up in the mountains, and I just love it. I love being here, and it's nice to be connecting with you in Boulder, which is one of my favorite places.
Yeah, thank you, Cynthia. Nice to be connecting with you too, and of course Carl Studna and Rumi, their horse, their two dogs. If you all are friends with Cynthia and Carl on Facebook, you know the ranch. You got to love their beautiful horse, Rumi, and his buddy, and these two beautiful dogs. A big, huge conscious community up there. So let me give Cynthia a proper introduction here. So Cynthia is a transformational coach and one of today's brightest and best loved inspirational leaders, guiding people to make changes at a deep level for lasting healing. She excels as a speaker, coach, and singer, and she is a multiple award-winning author of What Will Set You Free, Revealing Your Extraordinary Essence, and the #1 Amazon bestseller, I Choose Me, The Art of Being a Phenomenally Successful Woman at Home and at Work. So, boy, we'll be talking about those things here for sure, Cynthia. And thanks again for joining me. So, Cynthia, I know a lot of the viewers are familiar with you. You're a powerful woman out in the world with Carl, just helping to create more conscious lifestyles. So for those that might not be familiar with you, do you want to share a little about your work?
Yeah, I, I call myself a coach, and I work with emotional integration. I feel, which is actually mind body work. That's what self-care is a big part of that. It's what I speak about. It's what I write about. And I invite leaders and organizations and clients to really step into the truth of who they've come here to be and connect to their essence, their core, so that they can bring their best self to the planet. So I love that. I get to be with people all over the world and speak all over the world to invite people to step into more conscious awareness.
Yes, and as I mentioned, you do that so well. You're just a powerful woman out in the world, and I've been blessed to know you and Carl since my family moved out here to Colorado in 2007 from Northern California. Cynthia, I know that one of a group that you're very involved with and lead, Women Creating Our Future, is very important to you. Do you want to talk a little bit about this initiative?
Yeah, so Women Creating Our Futures was birthed about 7 years ago. I started noticing that a large number of women were following me. A large number of women were my clients, and they all were in this place of like, what's next for me? What am I growing into? What have I come here to do? And so I joined with my partner Jean Hendry, and we created Women Creating Our Futures. We have a yearly conference in January that's now virtual, because of pandemic. But also programs. We have Academy of Women Entrepreneurs for women who have businesses to go to the next level. But every program that we do is about initiating possibilities. How do you step into your passion, your power, and bring that to the planet? So you can tell I'm excited about that because we're watching women do quantum leaps into greater yet to be.
Boy, and so important now, as we talk about this conscious journey, this whole dimension of women finding their rightful place as leaders, and this whole divine feminine, and where, of course, in this conscious community, I think there are actually far more women leaders than there are men. We work with people across the movement, and there's this huge community of women, and they do these masterminds and other kinds of things where they're tapping each other's vision and energy and supporting each other. It's fantastic. And as far as I know, the men aren't doing something like that. So they're out there running hard and really bringing a lot to this whole conscious journey in the world.
Yeah, and you and I were talking earlier about me doing a panel, for the oneness movement in the fall, and one of the things that the women on my panel are talking about is like bringing our voices to the planet in ways that light us up, but also ignite other people. So it's in alignment with what you're saying, whether it's small mastermind groups or large Facebook groups or, being in Women Creating Our Futures, women are coming together to support each other. And that old concept of competition is moving aside. And it's like, how do we lift and nurture each other?
I see that, and it's wonderful because so often in leadership communities, there's even a subtle sort of competition and things. And I see these women leaders, many of whom are working with us, that are just there side by side. And I'll be talking to one and they'll say, go talk to so-and-so. And then that person will say, go talk to so-and-so, where they're all just supporting each other, where this notion of conscious journey that's above all the little stuff that is going on in this world is really very evident. And it's a beautiful thing. And people want to have a voice now. They want to feel like they're having impact, don't they? There's a real, and maybe even more so coming out of COVID, where people have felt sequestered for some time.
Yeah, because I think what COVID did for us was it put humanity into a big pause. And it's like, then you get to reflect on, who am I? What do I want? What lights me up? What am I here to do? How, what do I want to do to make a difference on this planet? And so I think this is the perfect time for people to be awake and to tap into their innate power and their wisdom.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And so that's a perfect lead into, I want to talk a little bit about this educational program, an online educational program that you created called Revealing Your Purpose. And it's now part of the Humanity Stream Plus platform. It's one of our newest additions. And it's a fantastic program. Let's talk a little bit about it. We're going to go to a video clip here in a moment, one of the segments from this online education program. It's terrific. You want to talk a little bit about it, why you put it together, and I'm sure you've seen fruit as you've talked to people that have gone through this program, Cynthia.
Yeah, it was really interesting. I mean, I'll start with my own journey. It's like I remember distinctly asking myself, what am I here to do? What is my destiny? What am I here to express? And what's my purpose? And as I was began working with people, that was a question that came in a lot. I don't know what I'm here to do. I don't know what my purpose is. And so the discovery for myself and then what became the foundation for the online program was is that purpose is not something you find. Purpose is something that's encoded within you, and your job is to reveal it, to discover it, to open it, and then to deliver it. And so there are processes, and that's what the course is about. It's like, what are the process, the steps to help you unlock the purpose that lives within you, and then understand how to move into action to deliver it.
Wow, and that is so important. I know we all know people. I have friends that are very close to me that'll often say, "Oh my gosh, you know your purpose and you're running with it and you have so much fun with it. And I just wish I were clearer on my purpose." But it's true. It's not something that you have to go find. It's something that is revealed to you. It's already within you. So I love that.
Yeah.
Let's go to this clip. So this clip that we're going to go to, it's a 1.5 minute clip. It's called "Clearing the Table." So this is from session 3 or module 3 of Revealing Your Purpose. So this is, of course, Cynthia James created this online education program. We're going to go take a look here now.
Hello and welcome back. This is Module 3, and I call it the clearing template because it's time to get real. How much clutter is in your life? And I don't just mean closets and drawers, boxes, storage units, and garages. These are important, but let's also explore the emotional triggers, doubts, and fears that keep you stuck. Also, how many people are there in your life that are draining your energy and acting in non-supportive ways? Remember I told you about my mother and my family. No one believed that my dream could be a reality. In fact, I was discouraged every time I tried to take a leap of faith. People called me crazy and delusional. And anytime something did not work, there was this big fat "I told you so" on their face. Thank goodness the dream was bigger than that reality. And don't get me wrong, I struggled. It took me a long time to understand that what I was experiencing was my own mind, my own fears and doubts being reflected back to me. So I decided to clean house, literally and figuratively. I cleaned out my house, my office, my drawers, my closets, and then I began to distance myself from people, even family members, who could not hold the vision with me. I hired a therapist and later in life a coach to assist in unraveling a mindset that no longer served. It was not always fun or easy, but it worked.
Wow. So we're going to talk about that. So you can see that's on the Humanity Stream Plus platform. I think we're putting a link on the window so you can click on it. When you go to Cynthia's online education program, and if you just scroll down, it says Additional Transformation Education. There are 10 online programs there, and you'll see Cynthia's program, Revealing Your Purpose, right there. Now, when you click on it, then you'll see all of the modules. And then when you come down and click on a module, this one or any of the others, there's a whole template that comes up that talks about what this module is. And this is one of the things that we love about this Humanity Stream Plus platform is that it's got this graphical, intuitive interface. It's like where we're streaming Netflix or Amazon Prime or something. It's like that. It's that simple, that intuitive. And in the industry, the hub that most of us have been using over the years is very clunky. It's hard to find what you're looking for, hard to go to the next module, even harder to get to the next class. So check it out and check out Cynthia's program specifically, this Revealing Your Purpose. I'm going to guess that every viewer that's here now or that knows somebody that's trying to get to their purpose would find incredible value in this program. So Cynthia, so this is interesting. There's this, as we're revealing our purpose, just clearing house is a major aspect of this, isn't it?
Yes, it's essential, because doubts and fears and trepidations, all those kinds of things are energy clogs. They clog the chi and the movement of the energy. And just like if you've got closets that are full of stuff and garages that are full of stuff, it clogs energy. I think the same thing is true in consciousness. It's like you have to start moving aside anything and anyone that cannot support you. I mean, there's this whole thing about if you want to heal, then you only surround yourself with people that can carry that vision, that can stand in that container with you with that high frequency and vibration so that the healing can take place. And I think transformation is the same. When you step into your purpose, into your destiny, you surround yourself with people and things that lift you up, and you clear out anything that doesn't. And it's not so easy sometimes because we love people, but if you've got people telling you that your dream is too small, that you can't accomplish that, that's seeding the field. So what I say to people is you can love people, you can honor them, but you want to just put yourself inside a vortex with positive energy and information and declarations and affirmations and actions that take you to the next level.
Boy, you can see why Cynthia is an amazing coach, can't you? I mean, just listening to Cynthia here now, you don't want to just sit on the couch here as you're listening to Cynthia. Huh? So Cynthia, we were talking before the program. There's so many dimensions to this program that I love, and again, this notion of revealing your purpose just has so much practical application because I know so many people, even people my age, that are still really don't feel like they're right on top of their purpose. So this has such incredible application. Now, one of the dimensions to this class that you get into is this notion of pushing through, and when it gets hard, not just putting it down, which you've seen quite a lot. I have too. You talk about pushing through. Do you want to bring in that dimension? I think that's so important.
Yeah, there's a couple of things I want to say that, anytime you're going to shift or change, it means moving out of the familiar, into something that's unfamiliar. And a lot of times, old mindsets, old beliefs, all that kind of stuff kind of, comes up and you hit a wall. Or it looks like your dream isn't unfolding, or it looks like the thing that you're creating isn't working. And sometimes it's just the universe saying, not now or not this. But I think a lot of times it's like understanding that this is just a part of the evolution. This is just a part of the process. So there are tools. And one of the things I want to say is that to create a purpose declaration, something that is so powerful about who you are and who you've come. And I'm not talking about, I want to create this business. I'm saying, what do you want to do to bring to the planet? Like my declaration is that I'm here to be in high service to humanity, to support individuals and organizations and to awaken to their highest potential. And then you start asking yourself some questions. It's like, well, okay, how have I come here to serve? Who have I come here to serve? What talents and gifts do I bring? And how do I share these gifts? And you keep asking those questions because the universe will respond. And so those seeming walls will start to break down, or new portals will open because the universe starts answering your questions. Why are you here? Who are you here to serve? How can you stand in the fullness of who you've come here to be? And so that declaration and those questions support you in the pause, because the pause is saying, maybe there's a place to go deeper. Maybe there's another doorway to go through. Maybe there's another collaboration that's wanting to be revealed. It's like that wall is just an opportunity for you to take a deeper dive and trust the universe.
Yeah, boy, Barbara Marx Hubbard used to say our crisis is a birth. And Yeah, there's something. There's a big silver lining here. There's something trying to be born into the world, and thus the challenge, the wall, the crisis, etc. And I've certainly seen that myself too. Beautiful. Well, Cynthia, of course, somebody that's highly motivated and inspired and that really wants to drive would get a ton out of your books, your programs, and things. What about somebody that is newer to the journey, that is maybe more ambivalent about, can I do this, and what's my role in the world anyway? Do you coach people like this too?
Oh, I absolutely do. And one of the things that I start every um, work with, every session, is like, what's your intention? What do you want? You may not know how to get there. You may not know how to create it, but what is your intention? Because intention is a very powerful energetic frequency. And so then the thing is, it's like, then we start looking at their passions. What lights them up? What would they do if they weren't making any money? What is their joy? And sometimes people, well, my joy doesn't connect to how I take care of myself or how I make money. But I beg to differ, because if you are in a field of delivering your passion and being connected to what lights you up, it becomes an energetic magnet, and it goes out into the universe, and it starts pulling those things in that then get to coalesce as the life that you've come here to live. So there are some people that go, okay, I don't know if I believe what you're doing, but I'm willing to try it. And that's all I ask. If people are willing, and sometimes they have to be willing, but if they're willing, I'm very clear that the universe conspires for us. It really is in support of us. That we were so important that life got breathed into us as an original imprint. So there must be something we've come here to do. There must be ways in which we've come to deliver that nobody else can do. And so that's what we work on opening when I'm working with people.
Fantastic. Now, we were talking a little bit about the Golden Eagle Ranch, and your husband Carl, and all of the work that you guys do together. Now, so how about life balance? So, because you have Rumi, these horses, you've got these dogs, you're on this beautiful ranch, there's wildlife around. Are you able to create life balance where there are clear lines that are drawn, and there's this time where you're just out in nature and with Carl and stuff too?
Yes, but I would like to share, it wasn't always this way. And what it took was a wake-up call for me. A number of years ago, I was feeling very tired, and I finally went to the doctor. And what was told to me was that my adrenals were headed towards Addison's disease, which is actually adrenal failure. And so I had to take a 3-month sabbatical. And in that 3-month sabbatical, what I realized is that my identity was connected to what I achieved, what I accomplished. And so I was doing all kinds of things in the world, and people were calling me, and I was speaking, and I was writing and doing all these things, but I had forgotten to take care of me. And I come from 5 generations of women who were abused and traumatized and left the planet overweight and ill and depressed. And so here I am in this sabbatical, and I'm 30 pounds heavier than I am today. I notice that I just push and I push and I push, and I forget to enjoy. I mean, we live on 12 acres of extraordinary land surrounded by trees. And I'm like, why am I not experiencing and loving this gift that I have been given called this home? And so that began me clearing out my cabinets in my kitchen, any stuff that didn't support my health and well-being, working out with a trainer, walking with Carl, making sure that I calendared me. I calendared loving me and taking care of me and honoring, this ranch is a manifestation of consciousness and dreams that Carl and I created. And so it's like a part of me said, do you want to leave this planet not enjoying the gifts that you have been given? And so work-life balance became a priority?
Wow, that teaching was probably given to you not only for you, but all of the viewers here and all the people you come in contact with, because there's this whole other crowd. You're in the Transformational Leadership Council, you and Carl, and you've got high performance friends, and I probably in that category myself, and so we can just kind of run hard and just be so driven, so devoted, so disciplined that I tell my wife, I say, we were doing a dog walk the other day, and said, do you want to do, there's a longer one and a shorter one, and she says, oh, it's the beginning of the day, you probably want to do the shorter one. I said, no, I want to do the longer one. I said, as you know, Stephanie, my Achilles heel is I'm so devoted to this work that I'm doing that I'm every opportunity, especially when I'm with my wife, my dog, I want to take the longer route. So
Yes.
we're all working on something. A lot of people are working to just try and be more driven and to get that vision and to understand that purpose and to get out there. But there's a whole other group that is really, works very hard the other way to make sure that there's strong life balance. So I want to just bring in, so Carl Studna, who's Cynthia's husband, he's watching. He says, sending love from the Golden Eagle Ranch. So, hey, Carl, let me mention also, Carl's more than, a beautiful, a fantastic guy, and watching his wife here on the program. He's also faculty that has created a master class here with Humanities team. It's called Zen and the Art of Smartphone Photography. So when you go to that Humanities Stream Plus platform and you scroll down, and I think we're putting, again, a link in the window so you can just scroll down, you'll see Carl's masterclass. And Carl also is astonishing. He has started out as a photographer in rock and roll. And so in the Beatles and all of the, all the icons in rock music, Carl has photographed in really in an extraordinary way. And then on this conscious journey, he came over, and so Ram Dass and Michael Beckwith and Cynthia and many others he's photographed, and he's but it's not just photography. We call it
Right.
Zen and the Art of Smartphone Photography, because it's conscious photography. So when he's taking your picture, and I've had the pleasure of working with Carl, he wants that inner light, that conscious you to come through. So, and plastic smiles, he's like, get ready, no, we're not doing the plastic smile, go somewhere else. This is, because he calls it luminescence. So luminescent. So that light, he wants to see that light coming through, that expression. So he's amazing, and be sure to check that out too at Humanities Stream Plus. And I'll just share briefly too here. We created this platform in support of this PACE initiative called Planetary Awakening and Conscious Evolution. Cynthia and Carl and so many, all of you viewers, people all over the world are really devoted to this conscious journey, because of course it's very fruitful for us. We live prosperous lives and fruitful lives where we're conscious, where it's just financial, of course, is a part of that, but it's so much more than that. It's so much richer. There's so much treasure in really living consciously. And of course, the dream that we all have when we're on this conscious journey is that this planet, this beautiful planet, the Earth and humankind and animal life and plant life, that we come into the fullness of conscious living on the planet. So, and as we know, this term existential crisis is thrown around, not to scare anybody, but as a wake-up call that we really do need to all become conscious together so that we steward the Earth, we nurture each other, we make sure everybody has just good, basic, clean living, and we don't have forever to create an awakened, conscious planet. So the PACE initiative is saying, hey, let's pick up the pace, because we probably would all agree we're not on the pace today in 20 years to have a fully conscious humanity, a fully conscious Earth, and That's what the initiative is about, is picking up the pace where each of us, we're not looking for somebody else to pick up the pace. We're going to step into that. We're going to pick up the pace. We're going to become pace setters together and create this. So, and the Humanities Stream Plus contribution to that is that we created the least expensive subscription platform that is intuitive, graphical. My mother, who's 87 and won't use a computer anymore, can't get lost, from a phone or an iPad or from a computer when she's looking at these at the Humanity Stream Plus screen. It's that graphical, it's that intuitive. I was sharing, with Cynthia's program, you can just go down, click on her program, and it'll show you all her modules, and then click on any module, and it'll tell you what the module is about. Likewise, Carl's program, there's Carl's right there, see? Zen and the Art of Smartphone Photography. So you can click on his and do the same thing, or any of these other programs with Barbara Marks Hubbard or Greg Braden or Neil Donald Walsh. I have my own conscious leadership program too. So it's real simple to use. It's now on Roku, Apple TV, Google Pay. So you can, on any platform now, watch this. So from a TV, from your handheld device, from your computer, and we're going to take it into all of the foreign languages too. So its contribution here, as we talk about PACE, is that this whole process of awakening to our conscious self is I'm going to call it the easy part, where we maybe work with somebody like Cynthia, or we read Conversations with God or something, and then we become more awake to what being conscious is. But developing the skills, the habits and patterns, the skills to really live consciously with our partner, with our kids, with our coworkers, that takes some work. It takes a lot of practice, and there are lots of dimensions to that, of revealing our purpose, having fun with our smartphone, becoming limitless, which is this is Michael Beckwith and Panache Desai, or healing trauma, which is Thomas Hubel and Joan Borisenko, and on and on. There you can see 11 master classes now. You'll see 10 of these other transformational education programs, and then there are over 550 hours of programming on the platform, and every week we're adding new content. So also there's mentoring that's a part of this. So just last night we had Suzanne Hubbard on that was doing mentoring and during the community program. Mark Nepo is doing something here next week, and then Chris Carr the week after that. And I could go on. If you go to the humanitiesteam.org site, you'll see all of these faculty that are doing mentoring, and these are community calls where people are together with like-hearted, like-minded people, so you don't feel as an island alone on this conscious journey. So that's just the start. They're free completion certificates for all the master classes, and there's so much more. Go take a look, and it's a 7-day free trial. So, and then there's a 7-day guarantee period. So for 2 weeks, if you are resonant with this platform, it's on Humanities Team. You're not even paying for it yourself. It's all on Humanities Team. The 7-day free trial is pretty cool. So you could go look at Cynthia's program. You probably wouldn't in a week. Probably wouldn't be able to go into the fullness of her whole program, but you could get started and get through some of those modules and get a sense for what the platform is like, or Carl's modules too, if you wanted to check that out. So I invite you to humanitiesstream.tv is one way of finding the platform, or we're also putting links in the window. I'm going to come back over here to Cynthia, and she's going to be with us for about another 15 minutes. She's a busy woman, and she's got other programs she's doing here today too. We appreciate you fitting us in, Cynthia. Cynthia, you, well, first of all, just regarding the conscious journey that you and Carl are devoted to, and of course you're part of the Transformational Leadership Council, so you guys are operating at a very high level. Are there things, any shout outs or things that you want to share about this conscious journey that involves all of humankind?
Well, I guess I just want to remind people that there is no arrival. that you're not going to get someplace and then you're there and you don't have to do any more work and you don't have to have your spiritual practice or whatever. That this really is about evolving. This is really about um, connecting to yourself, your and I mean your the big S, your the eternal self, and connecting that to your internal self, and really opening to, who have you come here to be? You know, I ask myself a series of questions every morning, and the first question I ask is, what does my future self want me to know? Because I know that because I'm evolving, there's more, there's expansion. So how can I be more awake? How can I be more alive? How can I be more kind? How can I be more conscious? How can I be more aware? How can I be more in service? And so, being, connected to TLC, to humanities team, and to organizations that have the same vision is a part of that. I think you're being here listening to this conversation today is because there's something in you calling you into conscious awakening. And so, what I feel is that the more of us that are awake and the more of us that are committed to stepping into that full expression, that there's no end to it. We get deeper and wider and more expansive and more loving and more caring and more conscious. So it's natural then that we want to serve the ecosystem. It's natural that we want to lift humanity. It's natural that we want to serve this planet because it is an understanding that we are interconnected. So for me, this conscious journey is a gift. I'm so grateful to be embodied in as a human and getting to experience the full spectrum of what that means. And that every day I get to choose, who do I want to be today? How do I want to show up? How do I want to walk my talk? So, because there's no arrival, you are on an extraordinary adventure.
Yes, you are into our higher self. Yeah, where we make that we ride the elevator from lower self, which is so passe. Of I want this, I want to do it. Then I want to, these are my preferences. Where we're just like, huh, done with that, to higher self, where we love the diversity, love the interdependence, love the more relational way of living rather than the transactional way of living, where it's just we're checking things off. I've lived that life. You people probably know my story. I was in Silicon Valley, and boys, I know that transactional way of living. I do, and whew, I found real prosperity when I left the valley. When when I when I set out on my conscious journey. Oh my goodness, where when we surrender, it's not to something up in the clouds. We are a part of that which we are surrendering to. That's our higher self.
Yes.
We are, we are one. We truly are all one, and we're very interconnected and interdependent, and so it's a beautiful thing. We're all of the diversity of people who are conscious have a voice and are coming in and are contributing, and this is coming out of COVID. There's so many people that are hungry now for community and for having a voice,
Yeah.
and for really accelerating their conscious journey, because their deeper values have come more into focus out of this 12, 15 months of COVID. Isn't this true, Cynthia?
Yeah. Well, it is true. I think that what COVID did was put up a very large sign that says we are interconnected. It sat down humanity. And so coming out of it, it's like, what do we want to do to connect at a deeper level, to support at a deeper level, to nurture at a deeper level? What do we want to do to bring our best self and connect to others bringing their best self? Because that's transformation, that's transcendence. And so I think a lot of um, people that I've talked to have said, I realize there are some things I have to let go of in order to step into the fullness of who I've come here to be. And a part of that is honoring um, our perspectives, our ways of being, our cultures, our lifestyles, honoring our differences, and really wanting to sit down at the table and hear, well, why do you feel that way? Well, how can yours align with mine so that we're not at odds, but we are building something together?
Yeah, beautiful. And we are interdependent. And it's in this higher self, in this conscious place, it's a beautiful thing. This is part of this prosperity, of just which is so different from this smaller self, where we more want to just, this is how I want to do it. This is when I want to do it. Where in the higher self, where we're really listening, tuning in, and hearing, and valuing the contribution of others,
Yes.
and truly understanding we are all in this together. Wow, we are so in this together. Well, let me read some comments here. So Baptiste is saying, welcome in Africa, we are with you. So, hey, that's neat. They're, one of the reasons, by the way, Baptiste, you might appreciate this, who's watching from Africa, is we wanted to, the program used to start at 12 Pacific, and then we moved it an hour earlier because we were getting feedback from Europe and other continents that it was a bit later on a Friday evening, and could we make it a little earlier? So, hooray! We've got people tuning in from the other side of the pond. So, very nice, Baptiste. Thanks for being with us. And then Janice is saying, love that the old paradigm of competition is starting to transform into women supporting one another. So, just wanted to bring that in, Cynthia. There are women that are high-fiving here, saying, man, that is neat. And so now Cynthia mentioned a bit earlier when we were talking that the Global Oneness Summit. So this free program. It's 9 days. It's broadcast in October, and Cynthia is leading 2 panels during the Global Oneness Summit this year. And you might want to even say a word about that. I know you've got some really thought leader women that are coming to your panels.
Yeah, so I'm doing one panel by myself, and I'm doing one with Carl. And the one that's on my panel is women. Catherine Woodward Thomas, who's an amazing author, Ariel Ford, who's an amazing author and love expert, and Marcy Shimoff, who's the Happy for No Reason and the Year of Miracles person, and Tina Lifford, who is the one of the stars of Queen Sugar on the OWN network. We're all coming to talk about what we've learned about accessing our voice, and how do we bring our voices to the planet, and how does that impact the feminine on this planet? How do we all emerge into this place where we are our most powerful, most dynamic, most expressive, most expansive selves, and that we speak our truths without worry of punishment or anything else? We are just standing in the truth of who we are. So I am really excited about that. And then I'm excited because Carl and I are doing a panel for couples. We have picked 3 other couples to come and really talk about relationship shift, and all of us are kind of high functioning people. So that question that you asked, Steve, about lifestyle, it's like, how do we fulfill our passion and destiny, but how do we honor love in our lives? How do we honor relationship? How do we navigate all of things that can happen in relationship to be closer, stronger, more powerful? So I'm really excited about that, because I know that a lot of people are in relationships and wanting to know how to navigate, but there are other people that are wanting to be in relationship. And so all of these couples, we all get to talk about who we had to become to call in the soulmate, and then what does it mean to maintain who you are in the midst of being in a loving, conscious relationship.
Fantastic. So these 2 panels are part of the Global Oneness Summit here this year. Last year we had over 220,000 people view the summit, and this year we've got Cynthia's doing these couple of panels, one with her husband, with Carl Studna, and this other panel with these amazing women. So if you go to globalonenesssummit.org, that's globalonenesssummit.org, or just Google Global Oneness Day, you'll see the panels. It is free. The entire 9 days are free. There's actually a free viewing weekend after that. So, and if you miss any of the 9 days, and I'm sure you will miss some of the broadcasts, we'll send you a link at the end of each day so you can view these panels. And Cynthia and Carl and all the people that are part of the Global Oneness Summit freely give of their time. Everybody's coming in pro bono, which is to say nobody's charging for their time. And they're amazing, thoughtful, conscious conversations. The kind of conversation that we're having here, Cynthia and I now, are this summit over 9 days, except that they're really drilling down on a particular theme. And the themes are extraordinary. So yeah, don't miss it. Global Oneness Day. Google it and go get yourself registered if you're not registered already. I know you'll get a lot out of it. So woo, Cynthia, this has sure been a blast. You know, I opened up with these books that you've written. One of them that's an Amazon bestseller. Is there anything that you want to share about your books? Because I know I know that these are big in the conscious community too.
Thank you. So, What Will Set You Free was a 7-step process to move from the pain of your life, the trauma of your life, to the passion of your life. And so, I'm still doing classes and working, and I've trained coaches in emotional integration work there. I Choose Me, which was the Amazon bestseller, The Art of Being a Phenomenally Successful Woman at Home and at Work. And I wrote that because women were trying to find balance. They were trying to find the nurturing of who they've come here to be in work life, but how do they nurture themselves? How do they care for others? Because we were enculturated to care for others first, instead of understanding that if we care for ourselves first, we raise the frequency. So that book is exciting to me, and it kind of birthed Women Creating Our Futures, because we really wanted women to understand that the love and the care of self must be your number one priority, because everything else falls from there. So I'm excited about that. You can get all of my books on cynthiajames.net, or you can go to Amazon. And I'm honored to be able to write and share my story and invite people into their own healing.
Fantastic. Wow. So you can hear, you get from Cynthia that there's a lot of wisdom here, you know, in these 7-step processes and in these in her online education. Just a wealth of wisdom here when we talk about the conscious journey. And I love, Cynthia, that I know part of your journey started when you were with Agape and Michael Beckwith back there in Southern California, and of course he's a dear friend. That must have been really amazing being tutored under Michael back in your early days, huh?
Well, yeah, I mean, I was going to his workshops and his practitioner things before he was even a minister, before Agape got birthed, and to witness the level of manifestation when your consciousness is aligned with the divine. You know, we would go there and we would watch the number of people coming every week, like doubling and tripling, because people were hungry for connection and community, but also the consciousness, not only of Michael, but the people that had visioned with him, was setting a container where people could come to transform and to heal and to step into who they came to be. So it's been quite an extraordinary thing to be his friend, but to also witness the manifestation of his calling on this planet.
Boy, no kidding. That Agape Spiritual Center in Southern California, wow, that is really something. What an amazing community. And we actually, in the humanities.team, I know a lot of people are watching from there. And on Sundays, we just stream in the Agape program every Sunday. He's truly
It's
extraordinary.
Awesome.
And yeah,
we dance with the Rev every week.
All right. Yeah, fantastic. And he's got the dance moves too, doesn't he? He's got the music playing in him. He's extraordinary. Well, Cynthia, and we don't have that much longer. In fact, we're at I think in the next now or in the next 5 minutes, you've got to drop to go to another program. Just as you're looking out at the future and these initiatives that you're working on, are there any other dreams or visions or plans or calls to action that you want to share before leaving our viewers?
You know, I already said you can look at my programs on my site, but this is what I want to tell you. You are a masterpiece in the making. You are here by a divine appointment. No one else can do what you came here to do. So my call to action is get up, get started, step up, step out. That thing within you that's calling you, you don't have to know how to manifest it. You just have to take one step at a time to, if you want to be a writer, write. If you want to be a singer, sing. It doesn't matter what it is. Step up and step out, because the world is needing you. There are people waiting for you that are waiting for your touch, your sound, your connection. You are essential. You matter. And so whatever it is that's calling you, it's the universe reminding you that there's something encoded in you that needs to be fully expressed. I'm excited to walk this planet with you.
Beautiful. And is it Cynthia James? What website can people go to follow your work, Cynthia?
CynthiaJames.net.
CynthiaJames.net. Okay, beautiful. So that's my dog, Sadie. So, you can tell she's jazzed about this program. You can tell she's jazzed about this program too. She said, "I love Cynthia." Sadie, our Portuguese water dog. So beautiful. Well, boy, what you are closing with, Cynthia, is so important. And just to viewers, of course, you're watching because you're already conscious, you're already out there, you're already contributing. But oh boy, amen to just really stepping up, and just really getting on the pace. And I myself grew up with a single mom. My parents were divorced when I was in the 6th grade, and and I was the middle kid too. So 7 kids, and I'm right there at number 3. And what the middle kids do is they listen well. The oldest one and youngest one are kind of holding the conversation at the table, and the middle ones listen well. And so just this whole process of really finding my voice and being passionate about what I believe in and not worrying about what others think. But because in today's world, even still, here we are 18 years after Humanities Team was founded, there still are many, most that wouldn't be really conscious. And certainly when we were founded 18 years ago, my gosh, we were, people would look at you cross-eyed when we talked about awakening oneness. But just as Cynthia's mentioning, this is how you come fully alive. Let that music box play its music. Even as the metal kid, don't be concerned about what others think. Where we're in our higher self anyway, we tend not to have sharp elbows. That's kind of the nature of our higher self. We're more loving. We're more kind. We listen better. We understand. We feel the interdependence. The relational way of being is really where we settle. So whatever we have to say isn't going to be taken as some mean or dogmatic thing anyway, because we don't really share that way when we're in our higher self. So I just want to amplify what Cynthia's invitation here. The world needs you. Get out. You're already out, but let's step it up. All of us together. Let's get on the pace. Let's be pace setters, and let's create this fully conscious humanity in the next 20 years. Cynthia, thank you so much for joining us today. Wow, what a fabulous program this has been. I've so much enjoyed the conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. I love what you're doing, and I'm happy to be a part of your world.
So CynthiaJames.com. Check out her work and her website, her books. And she's done, as you can see, I'm sure you're getting from this program, what a marvelous coach she is. Wow, she's so if you, I'm sure a lot of you already know Cynthia and are maybe in touch with her, but if you're new to her work, check out Cynthia on her website. And Carl Studna, let me just put in a plug for him too, and his Luminescence Conscious Photography. Check him out. You can Google both of them and you'll find their websites. Well, have a marvelous day, Cynthia. And viewers, we're going to hang in here just for a couple more minutes as Cynthia drops. Look forward to having you back, Cynthia. Namaste, dear friend. All right, and viewers, so hey, I want to just end with an appreciation for all of you. So Janice is coming in here with love this transparent, high conscious conversation. Janice, thank you, and a big shout out to you and other viewers. Megan, such an amazing chat. Thanks for sharing. Cynthia Plord, so this is not Cynthia James. She says, I still have connections with family who cannot understand what I am going through. Negative comments can touch me, but I do not dwell on the negative. So, Cynthia, thank you for being transparent and sharing that in the comments section. That's actually getting to what I was just talking about here a moment ago, is, there certainly are plenty of people who, I'm going to call it, are unconscious and would find our conscious way of sharing interesting, but not that they wouldn't necessarily be in agreement with it, or might even be disagreeable, as we're sharing. But my own experience with this, and I think what Cynthia was sharing here too, is that, we can't have 2 feet in both worlds, where we try and be everything to everybody, where we try and stand in the unconscious world and not be fully who we are, and then have the other foot in the conscious world, which is our true self, which is who we want to be in integrity to. So all I would say is to all of us on the conscious journey, as we share, and where there's disagreement or something, that's okay. I never feel like our role on the conscious journey is to convince anybody of anything anyway. We're not trying to proselytize. We're not trying to convince anybody. We're not trying to sell anybody. And if we are, I don't think we're going to be very effective. The thing we can do is just authentically and in integrity, truthfully be ourselves, and to share what our truth is, and where we're finding fruit, where we're finding treasure, what our prosperity is on this conscious journey, and just to be authentic about that. And also to be truthful about our journey, what things are working and are not working. I thought it was so fantastic, valuable, that Cynthia was so transparent and was sharing, as I was asking her about life balance, and she said, well, back a ways, I got into some real trouble because I was so devoted, I got really sick. And that is so commendable. All of us are working on things. None of us are just walking on water, unless we are. But we don't have to be perfect. We don't have to be excellent. We just want to do our best, be committed, be devoted to this conscious journey, live it as well as we can, find the fruit in it, and then just share openly of what this conscious journey is, how it's working for us, what we're excelling in, and what things we're working on. That's all that we need to do. And for those of you that are making it your life work to create a conscious communities and a conscious country and a conscious earth, boy, we invite you to come in closer to Humanities Team. Come to our website, humanitiesteam.org. Humanitiesteam.org, that's with a Y. And just scroll down, you'll see the initiative that talks about PACE. It talks about planetary awakening and conscious evolution. And we're, in the next 20 years, we're committing, in the next 20 years, we manifest a fully conscious humanity, a fully conscious earth, where, in a sense, we're returning to the garden, and we're kind of doing a do-over. We're hitting reset, where we're now remaining in connection with each other, with the earth, with humankind, with all of life on earth, with the divine, of which we are all a part, or if you prefer another word, the cosmos, or love, or life, or the earth, of which we are all a part. It doesn't matter what word we use. But where your passion is that, the collective, and this awakening planetary awakening and creating real flourishing throughout the planet, come to the humanitiesteam.org website, scroll down, read about our PACE initiative, and come in and join us. You'll see we have several suggestions that we make for things that you can do to come in closer with us to manifest this fully conscious planet. And with that, we are out of time here during this Accelebration on June the 4th, so 2021. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm here in the studio with Jim Gray, and so we used to have a little camera where we could pull back. There we go. We still do. See, it's up in the rafters there somewhere. Jim's waving. So that's me waving. There's Jim. All right, Jim. Hey, thank you, brother, for an amazing program. Thank you, Cynthia James. I also want to thank Garth Catterall, Nanette Kennedy, Karen Gordon, Dee Meyer, all of my partners in the Humanities team who are out on the John Raymer and the Sign Network. I want to thank all of you for being part of this program and for just extending its reach out to people in Africa and all over the world that have been enjoying this time with us. And Vance is shouting out here, says, Vance is saying, unconditional love will save our planet from insane forces. Okay, we're with you, Vance. And Seda has a little prayer and heart thing up. Diana also. So shout out to all of you. Hey, thank you for commenting. Thanks for being part of the program. Next week, I'm back to you at the same time, 11 a.m. Pacific. It's 12 Mountain, which is 2 Eastern. And next week, I'm with Sage Dyer. So this is Wayne Dyer's youngest daughter that I'm going to be with next week as my special guest. Be sure to come back and get to know Sage Dyer. She and her sister, Serena Dyer, who was with us a couple weeks ago, wrote an incredible book. And they're following very much in their father's footsteps. You'll enjoy getting to know Sage Dyer. So come back and join us next week. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for being with us today. Love and appreciation to all of you. Thank you.